Hey everybody, welcome to my retro review of Bubsy. Nah, just kidding. Actually, I thought I'd take an opportunity to give you a little bit of a show and show you around my upstairs. I mean, I haven't done a video kind of showcasing my work area since 2016, I guess, at this point. I get a lot of people asking, do you, how have things changed? Can you do a setup video? So I thought I would just go ahead and do it kind of off the cuff, I guess, with you. So let's pull away from this. I'm going to do it all handheld. Whoop. So please bear with me if I need to focus. So look at this. Back in 2016, I had this desk in the back room, but I've moved it to my kitchen. There's a kitchen on the third floor of this house. It used to be a apartment, so I've taken, I guess I was kind of slow in taking it over. we had a lot of storage up here, but as time went on, I just guess I needed more and more space. So I'm no longer working in a back corner in terms of like shooting B-roll. And there it is. There's our wood grain background. You wouldn't be able to tell if you're just shooting like this. If I was shooting Bubsy right on here, or I'm using this cutting board, this grid pattern for another project right now for a upcoming documentary, the Japan one. So I wanted a little bit of a different look than the wood that we normally have. But there it is. It's just some wood paneling on the wall. So over here, so this is where I kind of keep most of my video equipment. This is my Pelican travel case right here. It has lights in it, batteries, audio recorder, and this microphone that I'm actually recording this with right now is usually in there. It's a hard case. Let's see if I can close this. It's got lots. I've been kind of decorating it with stickers over time. I'm trying to keep this as good focus-wise as I possibly can. I might want to. Maybe I need to switch to autofocus. Maybe that would help. Let's see how fast that works. There we go. We'll just do it that way. Hopefully it's not too nausea-inducing. So yeah, I keep all of the travel stuff in there. I got my battery charger over here. Some quick release plates that I'm not using for anything right now. Of course, we have sets of lights. And there's also an overhead light, but I try not to use that. You see how it kind of makes a bright hot spot on the wall. So sometimes it gets tough to manipulate around that. So using this other stuff, it's a little bit easier. The only time I've used this set so far is in the portable EverDrives episode. So what is this? This is actually kind of fun. This is a little thing that I learned about. Well, this is something that I got an idea for in thinking of like how Electronic Gaming Monthly used to take photographs off of CRTs at conventions without getting a reflection on the CRT. They used to have a thing they call it the cone of silence, where it would go over the CRT screen. And I'm like, I'd have to mount that on something. I don't want to have to hold it. But then I had this, it's like a class, like a school presentation fold-out thing for you like put stuff on it, like information, like at a science fair or something like that. But I took it and I put it right around the CRT so that I don't get any reflection from the window or the hallway out there. That goes downstairs, by the way. So yeah, that's kind of a new thing that I started doing. I think it's pretty cool. It's a good idea. I got the controllers up here that I so I can play on it if I need to. I got my tripod right here. That's what, I use the quick release plates, and that's what I can't get it to focus. Come on. See if we can get that to focus. Maybe I need to adjust my. I gotta apologize for the creaking floor. I can do that. Let's put that right in the center. See if that helps. So yeah, that's kind of how I shoot off screen currently. If I need to, just get really close up. And then also, I can shoot close-ups of things on here. See, shoot some B-roll on here. I can turn on the lights here. Let's see if we can go ahead and do that real quick. Get a bit of a look to it. So we let that focus or not. There we go. I mean, that's just with the overhead light and the one light on. Doesn't look very good as it is, but you can get real close to it if you need to. But this desk is pretty big. I've thought about just kind of getting a full table. Kind of like that I kind of don't like that I can't get to the other side, but the room is not wide enough for me to just have a table in the middle. But I could probably work it out. I mean, I do have a table right behind me. There's a table here. My daughter plays over there. There's a lot of her dolls and stuff from when she was a kid. She hasn't been up here very often, though, in a long time. Got some old books here. Looks like an editing book. Got some Polaroid film that has gone bad. You can kind of see right here. This is what happens when you take a photo with it. Whew, man, this is going to be rough. I'm going to take it off the autofocus because I'm just annoyed with it. So you can kind of see what happens. This is stuff that we got for my, to take pictures for my during my wedding. And it's over 10 years old. So we got a Neo Geo stick right here. This was accidentally left here. This is not mine. And some of my Velcro ties. These things stick to everything, so if you ever take them off, they will undoubtedly get stuck to the bottom of your sock at some point. So yeah, as you can kind of see, it's not too big in here, but I mean, I think it looks bigger than it is. Like my little artwork here. This is it's done by an artist by the name of Rusty Shackles. He does these old comic book style art and makes them based on games. The Altered Beast is probably my favorite, although I do really like the Space Harrier one as well. So up above here I have just a regular monitor that has an HDMI input, and I can run the HDMI out of my camera and I can see what I'm shooting a lot better that way. Using the little screen on the camera is good for run and gun stuff like this, but for the most part it is not. It's kind of annoying when you're trying to get really close in the CRT. You want to make sure you're not getting any of the moire pattern like that, or I mean, it kind of happens when you get real close. You'll see it here on good old Bubsy. That doesn't look good, but so you got to soften it a little bit to get a better look at the scan lines. But I can't do it very well on the little screen. So, yeah, there's my current B-roll setup here. Okay, so I also have this thing. This is just a clothes hanger that I put blankets on. I hang blankets around. I can roll it around. It's good for dampening audio if you need to, and it's portable, and it makes no audio bounce around. Let's see, right here. This is the Zoom H6 audio recorder. Previously, I was using the H4n, which I still use for a number of things, but this one has the replaceable modules on the top of it, and I got these different guards on here 3D printed so that you don't accidentally bump the buttons. It's the way it comes. It's very easy to do that. But the modules come off, like that separates, and you can put different stuff on there. You know, right now, currently I'm using a shotgun for most stuff. I just like how it sounds. I used it on the last 2 videos. So over here, I got a rack of a bunch of stuff here. Starting from the bottom, I have VHS tapes. Speaking of VHS tapes, really quick aside, these are all blank VHS tapes that I hope to be using. I've been slowly working through doing a reprint of the old How to Beat Volume 1 on VHS, and we are doing a Volume 2, which I am editing and collecting commercials for currently, so that we can hopefully release them and sell them like in limited quantities. So that is the idea with all these VHS tapes. So Try got these from a medical reseller. All these videotapes. VHS tapes are actually pretty expensive these days if you try to go on eBay and stuff. And Try managed to get all of these VHS tapes for $50, which is insane, really. I mean, I think there's 700 tapes here. Anyways, back over here. Okay, so we not only have VHS tapes, but we have broken console hardware on the bottom. Like that's a broken Xbox. It needs to have a trace soldered on it to fix it so it works. As it is now, the tray will open and won't close. This Genesis is really dirty. The PS1 doesn't work, and the Genesis 2 that's underneath there has a really wonky power input, so it'll just cut out every once in a while. So I use that stuff. Oh, and there's also a PS1. My GPU recently died on my PS1, so I got to get another one of those. I use these because they're just very easy to pick up off of here, throw them over there, and shoot some B-roll of it. And I don't have to go and unhook anything. It's kind of like the same way that I have right here. You can kind of see in here. This is all kinds of controllers that are in various state of operation. And they're not super clean, but I can use them for shots if I need to. And it's kind of a pain in the butt to go and get stuff from the other room. So it's just, a lot of this stuff is about me trying to streamline and make sure that I can do everything as fast and efficiently as possible, which unfortunately a lot of times isn't fast enough anyways. So here I have just like duplicate consoles that I also use for the same reason as those, as the broken ones, but this is just kind of like duplicate console storage, like different revisions. Like there's another Genesis 1, it's a power-based converter on it. It's my 3DO FZ10. There's a Jungle Green N64, which I was using for a long time, but now that I have one with Ultra HDMI in it, I don't use it currently. And back here is my one-chip Super NES and a General TurboGrafx 16. And underneath there, I have a Saturn Model 2, a Japanese PlayStation 2, Xbox original, or it's Xbox 360 arcade, and the original model Xbox One. And then up here is like where I'm currently keeping my other filmmaking equipment. So that right there, that is the Rhino. That is kind of the big thing that we've been using since like the beginning of the summer. It's a motorized slider. Both Tri and I got them. They're expensive, but I feel like they are extremely worth it. You know, you don't want to just get one to start out, but I think if you see a lot of those smooth panning shots that kind of change angles during it, it's because of the Rhino. It's 24 inches. Tri has one that's, I think it's twice as long as that, but he has more space than I do. So yeah, I mean, you use this remote and you can time out the slides. This thing is called the arc, and it rotates. So you can have it move and rotate at the same time, which is, I think, a big part of our show's look these days. It's a huge time saver, and I really like it. We both really like it. We maybe overuse it a tad, but it's all right. I got this thing. It's for white balancing, and underneath here is my teleprompter. Up top is extra controllers. We are planning on doing a giveaway in the future for a number of extras that we have, so keep an eye out for that. Got a couple of 8-bit DOE SN30s, and up there is a couple of the Night Trap Blu-rays that we have left to sell. A couple of the PC versions for the bundles. And also there's clone consoles that at one point I was going to do something with them, but I've decided not to. But I might, who knows, it might be worth breaking it out in the future. There's my old Bandridge switcher. And right here, this is like, that's a tripod carrying bag. And I got like this camera bag that is very useful. I'm not sure how well you'll be able to see it. Let's see if I can maybe I'll throw it over here. You know, I got my lenses and different stuff for traveling in here. My camera goes in there. And it's protected because it's right up against my back. Pretty useful. Although we haven't been traveling a lot lately. We got to take care of the stuff that we've already done first. All right, so that is enough for in here. Here's another look at this. If you look over here real quick, this is a box of stuff that I have for Tri. Sometimes we'll see stuff that we both, or that I'll see something that he wants, or if he sees something I want, then we'll grab it and then we'll just like make the exchange next time we see each other. And this is just a whole bunch of stuff I got here for him. Got stuff like, it's not gonna focus. Got stuff like BioShock, Collection. Of course, right here I got all my recyclables. From here, we move into like the main room, the main studio. So this is everything right here. Here we are. A lot has changed, I guess, since 2016. Got a lot of different stuff. I think I had this before I had my record player, but if I see one of these IKEA shelves, like I see them at Goodwill, I can't say no to them. Especially if they're in good shape, I can find a use for them for storage. Like here's a couple of working duplicate consoles that I might use from time to time. Like there's my original Master System with the FM sound mod is in there. As you can kind of see, I got a couple of PVMs down here. I got the cat. The cat's in here. Yeah. Yep. This is Sophia. Yep. So yeah, this monitor is hooked up. It's directly routed into the other room as well. The out from that goes into the other room, so that I can see. If I don't have a controller that has wireless, then I can play in here while I'm shooting. And that's just an extra one that I have. I like the look of the 14-inch every once in a while. And above that I have a monitor that I can move around for when I'm shooting in this room. If I'm sitting in a place where I like to be able to see a bigger output to make sure I'm in focus when I'm shooting on camera stuff. So I use that. This is a real light Samsung. I mean, it's tiny. I found this at Goodwill. I move this around and use that for various things. Got a baby monitor. I hear ya. I've been putting stickers on this PVM over here. Got a bunch of different stuff. I think it's fun to do that kind of thing. And it's just not on this side, it's on the other side as well. We're next to beautiful Bubsy. There's some in there too, as it fills up. So this is kind of like my main setup now, where I got the OLED C8, the LG OLED. So yeah, that's where I do the majority of my gaming. If I'm actually, more often than not, I don't do much gaming on there. I'll explain in a minute. I got lights up there. I've put my speakers on angled. They're mainly to angle speakers up towards you, but I've used them in reverse instead, and I'm angling them down towards me, and I love it. I used to have these things mounted in the wall, and they look so shoddy, but this is the way to do it, I think. I got some room lights in here if I need to turn that on. Make it a little bit brighter in here. Down here, got my entertainment center. So it's got a Laserdisc player, a mini DVD recorder that has the HDMI upscaling and output, and above that is a Blu-ray player. In the middle, I got a switcher, my OSSC, and my Framemeister. Everything is all connected right there. But everything is routed basically through these two Extrons right here. I mean, not really. You'll see my Extron situation is ridiculous, actually. The top one is a S-Video in composite switcher, which I don't use that much. It was the first Extron that I actually got, though. And the bottom one is a crosspoint that has 8 inputs and 8 outputs, RGB, HV. And next to that is something I need to do a video on in the future, is a SD card modded Commodore 64 that is hooked up through S-Video. It's kind of awesome. Let's see if I can show you here. It's got an SD card on there. It was done by a gentleman that goes by the name of Dreigel. All right, so on the other side, you open it up, and got all my switchers and stuff down here. I got that's an Extron RXI 201, and that is a VGA switcher that I have my Dreamcast and Game Gear going into. And I got my 2 G-SCARTs and a couple of HDMI switchers down here. Or 3 of them, actually. So, a lot of people ask about the wiring. I've done what I can, but over the course of 3 years and constantly changing things around, things have become pretty chaotic. I try to keep them as nice as I can, but they are out of control at this point. You can kind of see going down the side. It used to be so nice, but I think to get it nice again, I'm going to have to completely redo it. So of course I have all my consoles, and I managed to combine different of these metal racks and make them so that they go perfectly with the angled ceiling. So that's kind of cool. And I got some extra space in the future. I got this really great game playing right now. Yeah, so this is center speaker here. Yeah, so this is all the consoles right there. Up above also I have like some other duplicate consoles that I use, like my my Voltar modded SNES Junior, a mod chipped PS1, it's my childhood one, and a Model 1 Saturn. So as you can kind of see, all these wires go along the wall, and over here got my Denon switcher, and below it is my, well, eventually it will be my FPGA consoles. When the Mega SG comes out, the Mega SG will go on that Sega CD2 that's down there, but I also got the AVS and a Super NT. In this little area in here, I have rechargeable controllers, but on top I also have things that go on a cradle. Got my switch over here. I power everything and recharge everything through this thing right here. It's just a 10 output USB charger. Can't really see it that well. Sorry, I don't. There we go, much better. Hopefully this survives the whole time here. Or if maybe it's too bright, let me turn that down. Let's do that just so we can see a little bit better. You can kind of see this guy right here. That charges everything. All these wires go behind. Not the greatest. But yeah, here's the extra controllers. Over here I have my Wii U gamepad and controllers that go with it. A 3DS and a PS Vita. And in that little holder is my PlayStation VR. I'm kind of really big into the command strips these days. So I took my PlayStation VR thing and I command stripped it to the side of the entertainment center so I can just plug right in there. I kind of wanted to put it underneath here, so it's kind of off to the side, so maybe I'll do that another time. We have another Extron switch right back here, and that is what I'm using for component sources right now. So all the consoles over here, they're going all the way into there. I kind of like that approach. All right, back over here, this is my ottoman. This is my controller storage now. So you kind of see right here, this thing is full of controllers and bags. Like, it is bursting at the seams. Look at that. Pretty nuts, right? I know. Are you back? You back? You were just following me around. Oh, is that what you're gonna do right now? Is that what you're doing? Sophia? Yeah? Okay. And of course I have this couch. This couch was here when we bought the house. I wanted to get a different couch, but it's very difficult to get any furniture up here in the attic that is any longer basically than this. So I think this thing is never coming out either. All right. Is there anything I'm missing over there? I don't know. Oh, over here by the window, I got the YouTube 100,000 subscribers plaque. I also got my router connected to mounted to the wall. The TV, this 55-inch OLED is basically perfectly sized now. My old one was, I guess, after I put that shelf up top, it looked a little small, but this 55 inch is absolutely perfect. Oh, in case you were wondering, this is a arcade marquee for Karnov. Got that at the Galloping Ghost swap meet last April. I couldn't say no to it for $10, I think it was. Because, you know, it's freaking Karnov. I do want to show my dire wire situation. Please don't judge me. But it is pretty bad back here at this point. And this goes all the way along. Like it's bad. It is bad. It is bad. Let me see if I can get a little bit more over here. A lot of people ask me, what do you do for power? What do you do for power? Well, I use everything is on power strips, but I put everything on these rockers so that I can power them down or power them up at night. And it totally cuts off the current supply. So it is, there's no, like if power surge came through, it would not reach anything. You know, I got one down here as well. I don't know if I can see it. Yeah, you can kind of see it back there. So I use like a number of surge protectors, but I put them all on those rockers. A lot of wires, and I got this mount here. All right, so moving over here, we got the main computer area. Got my my Toshiba CRT that I don't use very often anymore. I haven't used it in a while. Got this excellent, awesome Phantasy Star poster sent to me by Sega Dude. I think it was Sega Dude. But yeah, that's could not resist putting this in a frame. Speaking of other posters that I have, I got this Sigaros at the MoMA poster. I think I talked about this in my concert ticket. I talked about this in my concert ticket video log. I don't know if this thing is hard to find because that concert sold out so quick, but I love this thing. Other posters I have a poster for top 3 greatest action movie of all time, Raiders of the Lost Ark. I think I placed that right behind, or probably, it's probably top 2. I would only rank Terminator 2 above it. And I would rank Aliens right after it. And then we also have the Goonies. Goonies is one of my absolute favorite movies. I think I saw it at just the right time. I've seen it probably 200 times. I got some other artwork here. I got this, even though I'm not big in the Smash Brothers, I love this artwork. Like the original lineup. Of course, over here, I have my Anamanaguchi tour thing I got for supporting them on Kickstarter when they were prepping the release for Endless Fantasy, trying to raise money for it. Over here, I have a computer monitor here that is like actually connected to my entire computer setup over here, because if I'm streaming or something like that, or I'm capturing and I'm playing on the couch, this will make it so I don't have to like turn around every time I want to see it, make sure that I'm still capturing. I can just pull that away from the wall and look at it. Got a space heater. I'm up in the attic, so it gets very cold up here. So I run this on my legs if I get too cold. So over here, let's turn this on. Make sure. So over here, this is my current computer setup. I recently upgraded to this. Used my Christmas and birthday money to get this ultra wide monitor, which I think is awesome. And John Lennon talked me into taking my old monitor and turning it into portrait mode. So that's kind of cool. That's got some my things I might need. I got my speakers, and that thing holds my SD cards. Got this right here. This is it's a little notebook. I'm calling it my brain dump. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend checking out Satchel Drake's YouTube channel. He used to be known as Satchbags Goods. He's doing a series called Damn Fine Habits, I believe. And it is really good. It's a really good way to do some optimizing your time and work ethic stuff. That's something that I've been really struggling with. I'm hoping to get better at that. Yeah, so I just put this back up. I was not using it, but I took this old monitor, put it here, and it's actually chained to that same one. So those two actually show the same thing, so I don't have to, if I need to get something on both screens, or on one screen, I don't have to like back away and make it so I can like look at both at the same time. It just is easier to do it. I mean, I just like have so many monitors, I try and figure out uses for them. And I've come up with exactly enough uses for everything, I guess, at this point. And it's a little ridiculous, but these are all like Goodwill finds. Like this one was a $30 Goodwill find, and I can't even believe it's like a really nice IPS LG monitor. And I use that. This thing has both my receiver output going into it, so I can play games over here in HD, like for the newer games. And I can just hit a button, and it also is connected to my computer. So it's also a desktop. Let me see if I can turn that on. But what I mainly use it for, see, it's a desktop, but I use it for like as an edit monitor. Let me see if I can show you. Let me boot up Premiere. And well, of course, below it I have my 20L5. But this is where I sit when we do the live stream. And so I can play on both over here now. I got my webcam mounted on top. But you'll see over here, let me take this timeline here. Like a freelance project, and it makes it so I can actually see my full resolution output on the screen here. So it's very nice to be able to sit here and work, and like I can watch the playback up here, and having the ultra wide monitor makes so I can do a crazy setup for my editing space. And I can put the internet over here if I need to. I got the task manager running there now. And then I don't use this for anything really, except for if I'm going to be doing something at the other monitor. But it is another desktop if I need it for some stupid reason. Up top, I got my rear speakers set up with some trinkets. Got my Club Nintendo thing. That is a roller that has essential oils in it. My wife is really big into essential oils right now. That is actually not a lens, that is a coffee cup. But I sometimes use it to put pens in and stuff. I got like other little trinkets up here. I got my Sega gals up here. My Nay, my Tires Flare, and my Asha. And here I have some Southern Tier smoked bourbon whiskey. I grew up in Southern Tier, like in Jamestown, New York, which is in the Southern Tier. And it's like kind of so Southern Tier Brewery is my hometown. So I try to always get that kind of stuff. Of course, up here, a little Mega Man action. If I can get him to focus. And that's a gachapon I got out of a machine in Japan. Got some essential research materials if I need it. Retro Gamers Hardware Handbook. Hardcore Gaming 101's Castlevania and Sega Arcade Classics and Sega Arcade Classics book, Volume 1, and of course the official Nintendo Player's Guide. See, I got some hard drives over here. I back stuff up on. Down below is another Extron. One, it feeds the other room and also feeds this monitor, so they're all like chained together. Below that is a printer. And our network attached storage, the My Life in Gaming network attached storage that we've been using for a little while now. And this is expensive to put together, but we were running out of space on our Dropbox, so we just decided to put together a cloud that we can both use. It just happens to be located in my house. So both Try and I we don't work off of it, but it syncs to our computers, so we can exchange materials that way. So, pulling back, there it is. There's the workspace. I have this arm right here. This is where my microphone goes. Where when I talk on stream, this is where it is. So yeah, I mean it's big up here, but it's not at the same time. It's perfectly sized for the kind of stuff that I like to do. So let's take a step back and we'll look at the whole thing. So I'm not going to go into the game room. I will do that a different week because this one's already gotten long enough, I think. So there it is. Hopefully I'm not accidentally filming anything that I find embarrassing and release this and then realize that it was embarrassing. Anyways, until next week.